Oh, it makes it square. What? It's still square.
Crowd in.
Alright.
I'll get out of the shot.
No, there we go. No, it's fine.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you guys look like a boy band. Are we live? Okay, hey guys, it's James Stevenson from Insomniac Games, and I'm here with a bunch of folks who are working on Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. We have Brian Intihar, who's the creative director at Insomniac Games, Mike Jones, our creative director at Marvel, Bill Rosman, our creative director at Marvel.
That's me.
Mike Jones, our executive producer at Marvel. See, I knew I
Yeah.
messed this up. You get everybody's titles mixed up. So guys, we just announced Spider-Man yesterday at the Sony press conference, and we wanted to have a chance here to talk to these guys and let you kind of hear from them about the project. So here we are. Guys, how you feeling?
Unbelievable.
Stoked.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Really
even.
superior.
Sometimes.
The reaction to the show last night was bonkers.
Yeah.
People online have been loving it. We're thrilled.
I'm so excited I can finally say the name Spider-Man out in public and not be worried that someone's overhearing it or
You
something.
can say hashtag Spider-Man PS4.
Exactly, yes.
All
I
the
can say
time,
that.
yes.
So when thinking about making a new Spider-Man game,
Right.
what were the most important parts for both Insomniac and Marvel in this partnership? Like, what to you guys was the key thing you all had to make sure happened?
I'll kick it off by saying you start with new by actually going to the past. By that I mean we dig deep into everything Spider-Man, going back to the very first issues of Amazing Spider-Man, looking at everything he's been in, animation, film, consumer products, action figures, tapping into what we all have always loved about Spider-Man for our entire lives, and building upon that and taking it to the future.
I think for me, it's just taking, story is so integral to the Marvel world, and then making sure that the design of the game just complements it really well, and whether it's the swinging, it's the fighting, it's just making sure that we're using all that also to tell a great story. They just don't feel separate. It's a very cohesive experience. So just, and then one thing, just always asking the question why. Why are we doing it? Is it, is it hurting the overall experience? Is it helping it? Always asking why. It's something Bill and Mike always bring up, and just making sure that everything feels really tight, cohesive, and that we are delivering the experience that all Marvel fans, all Insomniac fans expect from us.
Cool. So one of the things, if you watched the trailer last night, you saw some hints at some of the gameplay that's to come in Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. Talk about that a little bit. Can you talk about some of the things we saw in that trailer, some of maybe the improvisation, the parkour?
Yeah, I think, one thing is, obviously, it's an open world game, so swinging is going to be a very integral part, but we also want to, we are saying this is a more experienced Spider-Man, so we want to take his traversal to another level. So you saw the scene with him, parkouring his way through the coffee shop. Like, we want to expand his traversal set, and you saw some of the improvisational nature of his combat. We want to take that even further, and then something we're not showing right now, but we're talking about a little bit more, is like him using his intellect to get ahead. So I think really want to push the Peter Parker side of his character, and that really plays into what he does as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think one of Spider-Man's greatest weapons, in addition to his web shooters, is, as you say, Peter's using his intelligence to outthink and outwit his opponents.
And I would just add to that the gameplay mechanics and fulfilling that player fantasy, you guys are totally on point with all that stuff, and everything is looking fantastic, even though we can't go into specifics. But the other huge complementary component is the story. You guys are talking about the story, and it is about telling a story on a level that I don't think we ever have done in a Spider-Man game before, right? And delving more into Peter Parker, the man behind the mask, and actually taking a very thoughtful approach to what an authentic Spider-Man story is, not just the gameplay mechanics. It's the mix of those two things.
And Bill, my first conversation with Bill and Mike, Bill said this really thing that's kind of stuck with me since day one, is the best stories are when Peter's world and Spider-Man's world collide, and we've just been taking that philosophy throughout this entire game, this entire development, and making sure that that's coming through.
Yeah, so I hear a lot about authenticity. You said we're not talking about an origin story here. This is an experience Spider-Man. This is going to be later on.
All new.
In a way, every Spider-Man story connects to his origin. It's that theme with power and responsibility. But as the game begins, that we're going to say to the player, okay, you know his origin. You know where he's been. Now we're going to show you where he's going. So there's always that connection, that motivation to his first days.
The the arc of the character is really, you know, embracing that power and responsibility, making sure that that comes across in our way. But it doesn't mean we have to tell an origin story.
Well, and so that's the interesting thing too, because we're authentic, but I think we're also going to be doing some new things and some maybe unexpected things. And you know, some people have already kind of gone through the trailer. If you watch the trailer again, there's a lot of little hints throughout that, and so I think people should maybe be looking for some new kind of exciting twists on the
think
universe.
some folks have already freeze framed a few things and put up some articles and some speculation. And I don't know, some of the stuff we've seen out there is, you know, maybe on the right track.
I love reading the speculation. I love it.
And you know, for me, whatever entertainment I'm experiencing, I always want to be wondering what's going to happen next. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen next. So, since people are so familiar with Spider-Man, we wanted to make sure that this world that he's in, it's unexpected, it's new. There are a lot of elements that you are familiar with from the artist's history, but they're mixed in a new way. So you won't know what's going to happen next because you don't know around.
You don't know this world. You don't know this universe.
I think one great example of that too, and it's been a lot of talk, is like the suit's been kind of a big point people have been talking about. And we're not going to get too much into that today. You've seen like it's a new Spider-Man suit. But I do think one of the things that's really cool is you guys have put a lot of purpose into every bit of the design of the suit, and we'll get into the details of that later.
Well, it goes back to that question: why?
Why?
Why the white spider? Why the design of the blue legs? You know, like why? You'll learn.
It all has meaning, and we said if you were Peter, if you were Spider-Man, why would you design your suit this way? Everything on it should have a purpose and a function.
So we've seen a lot of excitement online about the suit. We're really excited about it, and we will answer all the questions people have been having online in time.
In good time. Well, and that's what kind of wraps us up for today, guys. Thank you for taking the time during a very busy E3. It's just kicked off here in Los Angeles. We're really excited about Spider-Man PS4. Lots of news to come in the coming months, so stay tuned to the Insomniac Games Facebook, Twitter, Marvel, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you around E3.